And now bringing you that hard, hitting fight analysis, submitting you into paralysis. Josh Thompson head kicking leg to dome, and Big John McCarthy saying let's get it on.
All right, everyone, welcome to the Weighing In Podcast. We have got a shit ton to talk about. We have got fights from South Africa. We got fights from New Orleans. We got fights from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. We got fights from everywhere. And so we got so much to talk about, so many things to do. I'm just going to say, what's up, my man? How are you doing? Did you have a nice day of watching fights like me?
Oh, it was all day, man. It was all day.
All day long.
Look, I know I caught some flack a while back. I was like, hey, if we didn't do the podcast, I wouldn't watch fights. I mean, look, it's not true. But what it is, though, is I would really enjoy.
Yeah, but I wouldn't watch as many.
I wouldn't watch as many, right? Obviously there's a lot of cards that the casual fans at home are like, yeah, I'll watch the main event, so I'll just tune in like as if it's boxing. Like, I love watching fights. I love it. It's an all-day thing, though. Like, when you have a show, you've got to watch all these fights. Like, I watched, I've watched the Dubois fight and Usyk fight. Fight, I didn't get to see the Manny Pacquiao. Is that thing still going on right now?
No, it's over. It became a draw.
Oh, he was a draw?
It was a draw.
I'm so glad I didn't watch it. See?
Wasn't worth the time.
But I watched the PFL. I watched the PFL in South Africa. And then I watched obviously the UFC. I watched every prelim for the UFC, even the early prelims. And I told myself I wasn't going to do it. But then I sat down, I started watching. I was like, hey, these are some pretty damn good fights. Hey, they're pretty good. And I just started watching. Okay. I just got into it. Like, I guess, John, I know you're the same way. If we sit down and we start to watch fights, we're nerds. We start watching them and we get into them. And then in this situation, I sat down. I know if I sit down to watch, I just start watching. And I'm like, hey, kids, get out of the room. Don't bother me. Like just give me my space. Like, people are like, hey, I know I'm sure you're the same way. Does everyone invite you over to watch the fights?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like,
I've gotten to the point I go, hey, if you want to come over to my place, you can come over to my place. You can leave whenever you want. Because I know it's going to be late. It's just the way it is.
Well, it's not only that, but like I don't want to be talked to. Like, everyone's like, hey, I'm come over and watch the fights. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'll watch them here by myself. I'd rather just have my kids here talking to me, And it's just easier. John, you've gotten a little bit older, man. Like the gray. No. I told people this is what you really look like when you're not dying it.
See right there, that is a fabrication of a demented mind. That's a fabrication of a demented mind. I just want to put it out there because anyone that would abuse an elderly person the way that you are shows what kind of sickness you have inside.
I do.
George, am I not right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's very rude. It's elderly abuse.
It is?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, mental still counts.
It's totally wrong.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage. That's exactly it. Emotionally damaged.
Oh, man.
Yep.
All right, well, hey, what do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about the PFL first? You want to talk about the UFC that just happened? I think we should talk about the UFC that just happened right now, and then we'll get into the PFL. Does that sound good?
I agree. Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's do that. Hey, so the main event, let's go right into Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. Before we do that, though, use the link down below in the descriptions for Element. Drink Element. Hello. I've got mine for my little nightcap. Obviously, with this amount of sodium, potassium, magnesium in it, for me, it helps me sleep. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's just too much and too much salt, this and that. It helps me knock right out. And then on top of it, when I get up in the mornings and I have a workout in the morning with my son, we've been doing this thing, John. I'm just going to brag a little bit. We just started doing this week. We're doing 100 burpees a day. So we break it up. We do 25 in the morning, 25 in the afternoon, and then we try and do 50 at night. So we didn't do it today because I was watching fights all day. So and then he had some stuff.
I will say,
yes,
burpees are the worst fucking exercise ever invented. I hate them. Can't stand them.
Really?
Used to do them all the time. Oh God, hate them.
Yeah,
just can't stand them.
Burpees. I mean, for me, it's like there's a thing called devil press, which is more of a swing, like a kettlebell swing mix. So it's like a burpee with a push up, but then you swing the weight above. To me, the devil presses get me a little bit more than the burpees do.
Well, see, but burpees are just like you talk about the devil press. You have to have an instrument. You have to have the kettlebell and thing like that.
Yeah.
burpees are just, it's like, hey, drop down and give me 20 push-ups. Okay. Drop down and give me 50 push-ups. Okay. Drop down and give me 100, sit-ups. Okay. Drop down and give me 20 burpees. Ah, shit. Really?
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah. We use dumbbells though. We've been using dumbbells. So he does it with 5 pound and I do it.
Okay.
With
so you're doing, okay.
Yeah. So we do it.
And honestly, it's one of the things that I hate about, because when I do like push-ups, I have to do them with my, with a fist. Because I have to keep
I do it with dumbbells because of my wrists.
Well, it's the same thing. I have to keep my wrists straight because my wrists are all screwed up and everything. So a dumbbell actually helps because you can do them when you're holding on to something. It's great.
No, it's true. Like I do it just because I can keep my wrist straight so it doesn't mess up, and I don't do it on my knuckles. It seems very Neanderthalish, which explains why you do them on your knuckles.
Can one of you guys mute yourself?
I'm not rich enough to have the dumbbell.
Yeah, I did mute it. I don't know why. I did mute it.
You did?
Yeah, it's muted.
Okay.
Well, somebody's been ring-a-ding-dinging.
Yeah, it's on. It's
Ring-a-ding-dingy.
Hey, how do I?
Maybe it's it could be my iPad.
No, I think it's mine.
No,
I'm getting this blown up.
Okay.
Do you know how I do it on my MacBook? Do you know how to do it there, George?
Specifically, no.
I'll try to figure it out.
Specifically.
Let me see. Oh, what the hell is that? Okay. Alrighty. Sorry, we left off. Sorry, we were talking about dumbbells, talking about burpees, all of these things, and that's mine. So that is mine. I don't know how to mute it. So you're gonna. Is it coming through on the page?
Because yeah, it's coming through.
I did live tonight and it didn't come through.
Really?
Yeah.
It's waiting until now.
Yeah, it is, and I can't turn my phone off. Even if I turn my phone off, it still comes through my laptop. So
yeah.
All right. Well, here we go.
There you go again.
All right, let's go right into Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. John, did the fight live up to the hype?
Yes. I mean, you can't ask for two guys to fight harder. It's a matter of, I don't know what you're going to expect in the fight. It was, this is one of those ones that was like, you made your prediction, and I said, I'm not making a prediction. And it was, I honestly felt that Max had the advantage in the fight. And it was not that I thought, obviously both guys could win, but I thought that, just everything that was going to happen with the fight made it to where it was going to be very difficult for Dustin to, perform to the best that he could and everything. But I thought he performed great. Look, he got rocked in that first, round, came back, got rocked in the second, came back, and he was in phenomenal shape. You could tell he got himself ready for that fight. Yep. It's just, when you're fighting somebody like Max, man, the volume is hard to match. And it all goes back to like, between the fourth and fifth rounds, you heard, Mike Brown saying, hey, every time that, he throws, I need you to throw back. I need you to, match his volume. And he couldn't do it.
No,
he just couldn't do it. And it's because that's how much volume that Max does throw out. And you look and you go, hey, I really don't care. I don't care that he lost the fight. I care that Dustin Poirier has been part of the sport. I still say he's got the greatest resume of any fighter I've ever seen, as far as the people that he has competed against, the wins that he has, the losses that he has, all that stuff. He has got just an incredible resume. And then, the guy that he fought in his last fight is right there probably with one of the second best resumes there is. So, you look and you go, I know it was a fight put together for him, and it was a special night, and I think it was a special night. I love what they did at the end. I love what they did in the whole thing leading up to it, and showing his mom talking about him, and his wife talking about him, and just hey, it's tough. It's a tough life to be that fighter. It's a tough life to be that fighter, and to be a parent, a father, or a mother. It's a tough life to be able to bring everybody into it and get them kind of involved in something that is a very selfish practice, and to do it and have people, look at you the way that, they look at Dustin Poirier. Max Holloway won the fight. Dustin Poirier wins in life.
I said that on the live show tonight when I was covering the fight on our channel, our YouTube channel. It just simply was, this guy, no matter what happens, no matter how he leaves, I go, in the scheme of things, right? In the scheme of everything, sure, he's upset he lost the fight. Sure, it didn't go the way he wanted it to. But when he wakes up tomorrow, he's got a beautiful wife. They have a new baby that's on the way, and he's got a beautiful young daughter. He's got a loving family. He lived his dream for a long period of time, 17, 18 years, something like that. And he's married to his middle school sweetheart. Like, if you want to write a story about winning in life, it's this dude. Like, I can't say it any better than what he's doing. Like, John, it's pretty damn impressive, man. Like, in this day and age, people are ready to just wrap it up and be like, yeah, fucking file for divorce. It's ready to go on. Like, I'm ready to move on. Like, they'll trade you in quick. These two have been through a lot of emotions. Being a fighter's wife is not the easiest damn thing, and look at how they are. They look like they are honeymooners. Every time we see them, they look like they're honeymooners. They love each other. They care about each other. Like, they die for each other. Like, this is for real. Like, he's got something, man. He's got, like I said, winning in life. He's got everything he ever worked for, and he worked hard for it. Every single thing, everything he's ever earned, everything he owns right now, he literally got punched in the face for.
Yeah, he did.
It's hard. But
he delivered all the punches back.
Yeah, these people that complain about making $200,000 a year because you got to sit in an hour of traffic. This dude literally went every day, twice a day probably, and got punched in the face, and then showed up to a fight and got punched in the face again, even more, just for every dollar he's ever earned. That led him to making millions, which, congratulations to him. I mean, that's fucking fantastic. Just simply put, like, I try to explain to people, he worked his ass off. He achieved his goals. He's married to the woman of his dreams, got a beautiful family. There's nothing better than winning in life. Doesn't matter how many fights you won. Doesn't matter how many fights you lost. No one gives a shit in 5 years, in 2 years. Tomorrow, should not care. He will not care. He's winning in life, and congratulations to him on an amazing career. I texted him a little bit the other day and just said, hey, man, no matter how it goes, I said, I'm cheering for you. I'm rooting for you. I want you to have a great night and get her done, my man. He sent me back. He said, thanks, man. I appreciate it. And then, just wanted to let everyone know, like, let him know he's fucking the man. Like, I was a little sad. Like, it's like I put out a video specifically for him because literally like 6-7 months ago, I said, there's certain fighters in the sport right now that their careers are coming to a close. And, Dustin Poirier, I mentioned him being one of them. Like him, we don't know how much longer he's going to do it. Justin Gaethje, we don't know how much longer he's going to do it. Who is going to be here to replace them? Because what I saw tonight was like, I didn't see the guys tonight, the Zellhubers and the Kevin Hollands, and they're not coming to replace them. And I like Kevin Holland. I like Zellhuber. I think they're fantastic fighters, but they're not Justin and Dustin and Max, and they're not that. And I'm not knocking them. I'm not trying to knock them. I'm not trying to take anything away from them. But that breed of bite down on the mouthpiece is just not there, man.
Yeah,
it's not.
But you got to be honest. Few reached the level of what those two guys in that main event have reached, have done. Just bring with them, and that's why I said, like, there wasn't a Dustin Poirier fight that I missed. I was lucky enough to referee some of his fights, and I knew back then that, hey, this guy's special because he just had that dog in him. He had that ability to suck it up at times, and I thought it was funny. It was Anthony Smith said it in one of the things I was listening, because it was one of those things you would watch. You watch for certain tells. It's kind of like playing poker. And you knew when Dustin, and I knew when Dustin was going to go after someone, because he'd always tug up on his shorts, right, and touch his hands on his shorts, because, like, I got grease on my hands, got to get it. And you knew, okay, he's going to come and try to throw hard, because that's what he does. It's a tell, when you look and you go, and those are the special moments in the sport. And that's what makes the sport of MMA, special. And, I always, Brendan Schaub is a friend of yours. He's a friend of mine. I love him. But he said something about, that the sport of MMA is dying in the sport of MMA, or the UFC is dying in America. And I'm like, not when you've got people like Dustin Poirier fighting. The question is exactly what you're saying. Who replaces him? Who's the one that steps into those shoes and takes over from that guy?
John, I don't really know. You've got Ilya.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Ilya that's one to replace Dustin, and I don't know if that's a long replacement. Like, we've been blessed enough to see the blessed, which is Max Holloway, and we've been blessed enough to see Dustin Poirier do it for so long. You know, and have great fights, absolute just great fights. You know, Cub Swanson's coming to a close. You know, Dustin's coming to a close. Justin's coming to a close. You know, I'm going to be honest. I don't think Islam fights much longer. And so I think if he wins that title, I mean, I think if he wins, he may defend it one time, and I think he'll be done. It'll be over. You know, so Islam's gone, and then a matter of time before maybe Usman comes over from Bellator, PFL, whatever. You know, like, there's opportunities there. But I'm just simply saying, who do you have? Like, who do you have right now in this sport? Let's just start off with the UFC. Who do you have in the UFC? For me, the only guy that resembles anything close to Max, Justin is Dan Hooker. He's the only one. Give me another.
I'll give JDM. Look at you can't take anything away from that guy as far as I've seen him in those fights where he's had to suck it up. I've seen him in the fights where he's, you know, just dominated people. He's got that thing in him, you know, and his fight with Bilal showed exactly where he's at. He's still growing though. He's still got a ways to go, but he's going to be one of those guys. There's no doubt about it, you know, but those guys are, you know, again, you get these people, and it's like there's a 10-year period between when they arrive. And you get all these, you know, ones in between, and you're waiting for that next one that's going to be there to be that next, you know, decade type fighter. And it's just sad when you lose them, but you do. But you know, they always get replaced, and they do. You know, look at the Randy Coutures, the Chuck Liddells. You know, they got replaced. You know, and they got replaced by really good fighters. It's just, you know, when you're looking at those people and you're watching them, they're your heroes, and so you never want to see your heroes go away, but they do. But it's okay because they get replaced. And one of my heroes that I just watched walk away is Dustin Poirier because, goddamn, he did it the right way. Yeah, he did. He did. I would have liked to have, you know, given him his flowers, and he could have walked off, you know, into the sunset with his flowers, but. You know, it's all right. There's always a spoiler, man. There's always a spoiler. Always. Look, if I'm going to go through this. I'm going to go through this list real quick. Okay. The guys that we're talking about to replace someone like a Dustin, a Justin, a Max, you know, like those kind of fighters is like, I'll go through 125. You got Pantoja. I think he is that fighter. He's that guy. He is that kind of fighter. Joshua Van proved that he's that guy. Yep. Joshua Van's one of those 23. Guys. Yeah, Brandon Moreno. So he's 23, so he's going to be here. Yeah, he's going to be there for a while. Yep. Brandon Moreno, definitely one of those guys. You know, just not as active as he was when he was the champion and before he was the champion. He's not as active as he was. I don't know why or what. You know, you get all the way down, but then, like, I don't really know. I get into any of these other ones. Tim Elliott, that guy. But that's a big jump from number 2. Tim Elliott? Tim Elliott's been just a absolute savage. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's that guy. Like, he's one of those guys. Like, he may not have been champion, he may not have been, you know, whatever it is, but he's one of those guys that if you're going to say, like, hey, who are the guys that I would wrap, or who would I even allow to fight for the BMF title? Who? It would be like a Joshua Van, a Pantoja, Brandon Moreno. It would be, you know, a Tim Elliott. Like, I'll get into some of these other guys over here. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of the 135ers. Like, they're so good in that division, but none of them, I have not seen them be dogs yet. Yeah, Henderson Cejudo, obviously, you know, because he showed in the Marlon Moraes fight to bite down on the mouthpiece and have to go through it. But he also, too, he's a little bit older now. It's a little bit more difficult to do. You know, yeah, true. Outside of that, you know, these other guys, I don't know. I can't really tell of any other guys that are in that weight class. And then in terms of the 145, you know, obviously you got to say Volkanovski would do it for sure, but you're not doing it. You're never doing the BMF title for a champion. You're never allowing whoever has the BMF title to put that title up as to fight a champion, because then it's stuck with a champion forever. It'll never leave a champion. It's always going to bounce from champion to champion. You got to make it something special that's not a championship fight. Yeah. Brian Ortega, I could say, could be in there, somewhere in there.
You know, and there's other guys in this. Dan Ige, I like. Didn't have the fight that we thought he was going to have tonight, but definitely someone like him. You know, you get into these other guys. Anyways, I could go on and on. You're saying JDM?
Yeah.
Okay. What about?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. What about a Sean Brady?
Absolutely. Look at Sean Brady's going to be special. People, because he had the one loss with Bilal, people kind of blew him off like, oh, he's nothing. Anyone, this is why you try to explain to people, look, anyone can have an off night in fighting because, and this is the hard part of it, is if you have that off night, and you've had those off nights, where things just didn't go your way, and you just, you might have actually been flowing well, but you made the one mistake or something, and you lose the fight. And the biggest problem with fighting is you got that on your record now for another 3 to 6 months until you get that next fight where you get a chance to, put it back on track. It's not an easy thing to deal with. It's not an easy thing to get rid of. And when you finally do get rid of it, you better do something special for people all of a sudden bring you back. Sean Brady he's a stud, and he is just getting better and better and better. And he is going to be problems for people for the next 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
And he is one of those guys, and he's got that dog in him because you know what, he has got no quit. He'll stand with people, he'll go to the ground with people. He's exactly what you're looking for in this sport. He's exciting.
So when we go back to the Max and the Dustin fight, talk to me about what were your thoughts on round 2? Because round 2, Dustin gets dropped in the beginning of round 2, and then at the end of round 2, Dustin drops Max and then jumps Gilly. John, I bet Dustin to win by submission. I bet Dustin to win by submission just because I couldn't pass up the bet. It was plus 8,000 if he won. Yeah. So for $100, it was plus 8,000 anyways, but it was plus 4,000 to win in rounds 1 and 2. So I was like, I can't pass that. I just got to try. And when he jumped Gilly at the end of the second, I was like, yes. Then he slipped out. I was like, shit. Oh,
that was that round. When you look at it, I gave it to Max, at the end of it. And the reason why is, well, you have to be honest about things and look at them in the true context.
You got to be honest.
I will give the fact that Dustin took a huge shot, was in trouble, worked his way out of it. But he lost the majority of that round also. He took the volume. He wasn't able to put his volume back into effect until near the end when he hurt Max. But it just wasn't enough to make up for what Max had done in that. It was, it was great, but it wasn't enough. If you're going to be honest about the round, you got to look at it and say, you can't forget everything that Max did because all of a sudden he's in trouble. You got to go with exactly how bad was Dustin hurt. Okay. How bad was Max hurt? Okay. How much volume was put out by Max compared to Dustin? And in my opinion, it didn't make up for it as far as by the end of the round. But it was,
I need to call in like a Mike
still a great round.
Jason Herzog for a second opinion. Come on in. You need to call them in for a second. Okay, so I guess where I have a problem with like how it's scored like that is that the guy did everything he could, and I've always felt this way, almost like the Pride rules. They scored on who was trying to finish the fight and who was trying to finish it later in the fight. So as it got closer to the end, if that guy was winning towards the end, that guy won the fight.
Yeah, and does that? Okay, I want you to think about this. But no, see, and this is where the problem is with that. Okay. It doesn't matter where you do it in the fight. Here's where it'll change. Where it will change, and where I would have said, okay, Dustin would win that round is if you had it to where the round Dustin throws the Gilly on Max, and it's on deep, and he is saved by the bell. As far as that's what's getting him out of the submission hold, I'm going to give a lot of credence to that based upon it wasn't your skill set that got you out. It was the end of time. It was the round coming to an end. So I'm going to give more credence towards that possibly being something that would have worked, where no, he got himself out of the Gilly and everything, all the same as what Max did with Dustin in the beginning of the round And then what Dustin did with Max at the end kind of evened out. So you take the rest of the round and look at it and say, okay, the volume of Max absolutely won the difference in that round.
I guess we don't see eye to eye. We can agree to disagree. The reason why
how does something happening in the beginning of the round become less than what happens in the end of the round?
Okay,
doesn't make sense, bud.
It does. When you break it down in a fighter's
it does not.
Yes, it does. Let me explain it to you. In a fighter's perspective,
okay.
This is how it works, John. Is if I got rocked in the beginning of the round when we were both fresh, you rocked me when you were fresh. You punched yourself out on my face, okay? And then I went down, I recovered, and then I came back, and after I took your beating, you had nothing left. I fucked you up and dropped you and then jumped Gilly. So to me, I won that round. I did it at the end when I was exhausted after taking your beating. That should count for more than when you did it when you were fresh in the early part of the round. That's the way I look at it. Like if I'm able to survive,
okay, that's the way you're looking at it.
That's the way
but
it
makes
be,
no sense. No, it should not.
Be, John.
It doesn't. No, it's how effective was what you did.
See, that's the problem.
Okay, how much damage? How much damage did it do?
Even the scoring's getting soft. You guys are getting soft the way you score shit. This is how we make great fights. Is whoever finishes the round better and wins and tries to finish the round. He would try to finish the fight at the end of the round after getting dropped.
Okay. Yeah. Just like Max was trying to finish it near the beginning of the round.
But then I recovered. Dustin recovered and then put a beating on him. Like it should have been Dustin's round. Anyways, it's just
did he put a beating on him? Yeah, did he put a beating on him?
He dropped him and dropped Gilly, John.
And hold it. What did he do with that Gilly?
He was still a mount. Ref, he was saved by the bell. The mount. He was still a mount. Ref saved by the bell. Saved by the bell, like you said. Saved by the bell.
You've lost your mind, but that's okay. That was a nice kid show.
That's the way that I would score. That's how I would be a scoring system. Is if someone got hurt early when both fighters were fresh. And that guy took the beating and you punched yourself out on him. You couldn't finish him. And then the other guy came back and dominated or not but dropped you. And then,
where was the domination?
He dropped.
Hold on. If you're going to take a look at it, are you going to say that Max's knockdown and thumping of Dustin in the beginning of the round was less time, or was it more time than what Dustin did to Max?
I put more credence on when it happened, John. At the end of the round.
It doesn't matter when it happens. It's in the round.
This is what I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Did the round save Max? No.
Yes, it did.
Max's skills saved Max.
No, Max was mounted. The round got stopped because Max was mounted. He was mounted. He was still mounted. We don't know what would have happened because he was saved by the bell.
He wasn't saved by the bell.
Yeah, the bell.
He wasn't.
Rang.
He was not. Was he getting beat on badly at the time that the end of the round came?
Just barely escaped from the Gilly. Okay. Anyways, look, I'm pitching the argument because I feel like the soft scoring system of the guy who got dropped early and then weathers the storm, survives, and then comes back and wins the end of a round by dropping that person back, he should get more points for that. George,
do me a favor.
It should be more important to finish the round after that beat.
The UFC likes to put out the score sheets. Take a look at the score sheets and see what if they gave Dustin that second round. Someone did, I believe, because
one judge had it 47, 46.
48, 47. 48, 47, and 49, 46. So.
Okay. Would you say
48? One of them definitely gave him the second round. What's that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was deserved. But overall, Max, though, you could tell in the first round, Dustin was struggling with the speed. The speed was a problem. Yeah. The output, in the way that this is the other thing I saw was Max was touching him, and then he was moving. And that was brilliant because Dustin, what it was he was covering kind of that whole shell, and then that little Philly shell kind of look. He would cover like that.
By the time he was throwing back, Max was out.
And by the time he wanted to throw back, Max was gone. And that was costing him the fight. I don't want to make excuses for Dustin at all. I just honestly feel like he was enjoying the moment. He loves to fight. You can tell it. And I saw when he came out in the cage, when he came in and he did the whole, it's not fight as usual. It was,
what did I tell you?
I'm taking it all in. Yeah.
What did I tell you? That was what I thought was going to be the difference. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's so hard to sit there and say, oh, it's just going to be another fight. It's not.
No.
It's just mentally, you can't be honest and say, oh, I can make that happen. You just can't. And this is what I thought. This is when, we're going over something. I said, it's the pressure that is going to be self-imposed upon himself is going to be very hard for him to get past until, he really gets into the fight.
Yeah.
So
it's not easy. That's why it's hard to walk away on a win.
That's it. It's the truth.
If you know it's your last time, it's going to be difficult to walk away on a win because you want to enjoy the moment. And then when you say it's your last time and you do win, you're like, I can do it again. So it's different. It's just different. I thought it was a great fight. I want to give him nothing but props and respect, man, Dustin and Max for the great win. I guess where I'm going to go with this though, John, is does Max jump Justin and Sarukian and they try to give him that rematch at 55?
Well, it's the one thing that, you talked about, one of the benefits of Max winning is they could possibly put him up against Ilia Topuria again at 155 and say, okay, let's see what happens here.
Yeah.
And they could, I don't think that he jumps Sarukian. I do think that he jumps over everybody else. I think he's going to end up jumping everybody else.
I think had he finished Dustin, I think there could have been a conversation to be had if he finished Dustin, that they would have been like, it's a huge event, let's go ahead and let's just see what happens, and from what I understand, Justin's more in line for the title shot than Sarukian. They've bottled up. They've managed to clog up that bottleneck and just be like, okay, look, now we've got too many guys fighting for the title. Like, what are we gonna do? Yeah. And who started all that was Sarukian. He clogged it up by messing up. He did it. So, John, what was your take? Let's go ahead and move on. Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov.
Dude, I thought Paulo Costa actually looked really good. I mean, he looked really good. He was throwing. He was planting his feet. He was moving at times. He was mixing things up. He was using a lot of small little head feints that caused Kopylov to actually stall himself a couple of times when he was thinking about throwing, and he would wait. The power, he had power in things that he was throwing. He only had one moment where I looked and I said, "Up, you're starting to lose." He lost focus. Mm-hmm. And then he sucked it back up and he got it back. And so, I'm really impressed with the way that Paulo fought against Kopylov because, he just basically said, I'll take you on at what is your strength, stand up. Now that's not that it's not Paulo's strength also, but I'll match mine against you and we'll see what happens. And he absolutely, I'm not going to say dominated the fight, but he was never. There was never a time when I was concerned about what he was doing.
No. Yeah, I thought Paulo was like, okay, look, you're probably a cleaner, more refined striker than me, but I've got more power. He's like, and all I gotta do is just touch you. And the overall speed and power of Costa was obvious from the get. And as soon as he dropped him with the straight left in the first, and straight right in the first, and he dropped him again in the second, I was like, damn, all he's gotta do is just touch him. And I thought Kopylov's best round was the third round. When he came out in the third, he was actually putting pressure and not allowing Costa to get off, not allowing Costa to keep range. That's when Costa started shooting. And then he realized, I could have done this earlier and put him in an uncomfortable position. But by then it was too late. The kicks of Costa, John, it scares me when guys kick recklessly like that. All that goes through my mind is did you not see Anderson Silva, Corey Hill, Chris Weidman? Do you not that stuff? Ugh, I cringe. I was like, ugh.
Yeah,
they kick so.
He
hard.
throws. You got to give him credit, man. As far as when he throws hard. When he kicks hard.
Yeah.
And it's fast. It gets there fast.
And he's actually on target. Like a couple of those slid underneath the elbow, right on the liver, right on the body, on the hip bone. And those are the worst. I don't know if you remember. You remember when BJ Penn fought Matt Serra? And Matt Serra was hitting him to the hip? I don't know if you remember that. Anyways, I talked to BJ like a couple days after that. He couldn't walk because that hip bone, it was like almost like he had a hip flexor. Like he couldn't walk. He was like, it was in so much pain. I was like, "You're all right." And he's like, Matt, he's hitting me right there. And then I see, you would kick guys in the hip bone, and sure, it hurts you too. But he won't be able to walk tomorrow. It's going to be painful. It's going to be those hip kicks. It's very painful. You hurt your foot, but it hurts as well. John,
what you want to talk about painful is going to be poor Michael Johnson's arm. He won the fight, but boy, that left arm is just going to be hanging.
D-Rod versus Kevin Holland. Holy
dude!
Shit.
So much for the dog walk.
Yeah, that was my dog walk of the and then I had I want to say I think it was Zeke. I think it was Zeke who I had sent that off to. Zeke 662 or something like that. Yeah. Anyways, he's like, "Yo, so much for the dog walk, Josh." I was like, I just thought D-Rod came to fight, but he fought his ass off, John. It was impressive.
He did. He fought his ass off, and I'll tell you what, both of them. Mm-hmm. Kevin Holland, people would sit there and say, "Look, he took some big shots." I actually think he one of those shots he got. I know he got frozen. I can't say that he went out, but when he went down the first time and D-Rod followed up, one of those shots you see him just like freeze, and he got hit, and it kind of brought him back, and it was super close to him being out of that fight then and there. And he fought his way back the third round. Dude, you got to give him credit. He had D-Rod in trouble, and you got to give D-Rod credit, man. He just was freaking hanging on. And then you're gonna sit there and tell me that D-Rod won that round because he was in mount at the end? No, right? No, it was close. Stop. He was. It was close. But you look and you go, it was an absolute. This is what you're looking for to say, man, I got guys out there fighting their asses off and never giving in, never quitting, and just a great overall performance as far as guts and heart by both guys.
Yeah, I thought this was fight of the night. I thought it was a fantastic fight. They fought their asses off. Kevin Holland came in, I think, at a minus 700 favorite. I think it was something like that. It was ridiculous. But overall, no, sorry. That was Zellhuber that came in at a minus 700 favorite over Michael Johnson at a plus 500. Okay. But Kevin Holland was the biggest favorite, I think, of the night. He was the biggest favorite of the night, I believe. So, but D-Rod fought his ass off. What I liked about what D-Rod did is he came out aggressive in the first round, made Kevin Holland fight an uncomfortable fight. Kevin Holland never got to get set into his groove. He never, what happens is when you let fighters find their rhythm, that's when you start having a problem. You got to go out there and impose your will right away. And D-Rod's like, why am I going to let this guy stand in front of me, use his length and his reach? He's like, fuck this. What am I out here trying to prove? I'm 37, 38 years old. I'm probably not getting a title run. Let me whoop this dude up real quick. Let me just go out there and fight like I'm fighting in SoCal. Come on. Let me just go out there and get it done. So, and that's exactly what it felt like I saw. It's funny because everyone's like, yo, this is how we fight in SoCal. I was like, come on, guys. You guys don't fight in SoCal. But D-Rod does. D-Rod be out here fighting for real. And so he came out aggressive, touch, clinch, touch, clinch. I like every little exchange. He was punching out of the exchanges too. He had some great stuff tonight. And like I said, he looked exhausted after the first round. Then the second round, he looked like, it's getting away from you. Nope. He came back. He sucked it up. And then in the third round, I was like, oh, shit, he's going to lose. He's going to I thought he was going to get choked. There was a moment where he had his back taken. I was like, no, you're gonna lose.
Oh, I know, yeah.
You're giving me flashes of the fucking Johnny Eblen and Steenis fight. I was like, what?
We'll talk about that one, yeah.
Jeez. And but man, D-Rod wiggled his way out of it. D-Rod ended up in the mount to end the fight. It was a great fight, man. But yeah, I think D-Rod won the third round. So but it was a good fight. I definitely think it was fight of the night. Hopefully they got bonused up. Great fight. I know they didn't go Kevin Holland's way, but this is a building stone. This is a building block right here. I think now that'll put D-Rod in the rankings. I think D-Rod now will be, let me see, John. Let me see. Yeah, he's going to end up, Kevin Holland was number 13. He's going to end up number 13. Somewhere in there. Good on him. Happy for him. At that age, got nothing to lose. Go out there, let it all sling. But great performance by him. I'm super happy for him. Great performance.
That's 3 in a row for D-Rod.
Yeah, I mean, that was about to be 4 for Kevin Holland, I think.
Yeah.
Patricio Pitbull versus Danny Ige.
Yeah, this was one of those fights I was really looking forward to. It was funny because my wife said, she says, I heard Dan missed weight the other day, and I went, you got to be shitting me, right? Because she was talking about a different fight.
Oh.
And I'm like, I go, Danny Ige missed fight? She goes, no, not Ige. What's his name? And she comes up with it. I'm like, are you saying Dubois? Right? She goes, no, it's not Dubois. I go, I said, he can't miss weight. He's a fucking heavyweight. But anyways, so at first I thought the fight was going to be off.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said, heavyweights can miss weight.
Well, no, they can't. Not in boxing.
Oh, they can't?
No, there's no fucking weight limit in boxing.
There's no super heavy?
Nope.
Damn, that's wild. I was like, his DC right now looks like he's missing weight. Dude. He ain't making heavyweight. Hey, he was catching strays tonight for me because he looked like Barney in that purple suit.
He looked like a giant grape.
Bro, I was like, bro, come on. Like, I actually like that color on him, but it just was not. It wasn't. It was
not good when Paul Felder's wearing the same color right next to you, man.
Yeah, just was not. It was not good, man. I looked like fucking Barney, the dinosaur, right? The kid dinosaur. I was like, come on. And it was that color purple too, unfortunately.
It was.
John, this definitely was a fight that I had higher expectations for. I thought they were going to come out there and get after it. And
well, they did at certain points, but I think Dan got hit by Pitbull with a shot early that kind of woke him up and said, "Ooh, I got to be careful."
Yeah.
And so he went about his stand up in a more cautious fashion. Then Dan jumps in and he gets busy, and I think that the shot actually made him go, "Oh, I got to be careful here." And then the takedowns that Pitbull was landing on him made him where he was like, "Okay, he's trying to take me down too." And then he got hurt with the one he got out of though. It just never got into that flow for him. I thought I had him winning the third round. I had Ige winning the third round, but I had Patricio winning the fight 29-28. It just was, it was one of those, in some ways, Cormier is sitting there talking and saying stuff about, this, he doesn't throw enough. And it's true. At this point in his career, Patricio is taking too much caution with, I want to be perfect. I want to, just land the good shots. And his percentages are great, but his percentages are going off of very low percentages of output. And he's got to up that output.
Yeah, I found myself later in my career doing the same thing. Is that you're waiting for the right opportunity, and the right opportunity you have to create. You can't. It's not going to present itself.
There you go.
Occasionally,
it doesn't just come. You make it happen.
Yeah, you've got to make it happen. And I was talking about that. I was watching the fights because I couldn't hear what Daniel was saying or anyone was saying because I was doing a live stream for our YouTube channel for this, and it just came down. I'm glad that he got the win because now the monkey's off his back. Okay, I got a win. Now I'm ranked. I think he's ranked number 13 now or something like that because that's what Dan Ige was ranked. And so now he's going to take Dan's ranking. And when he does, let me see where we at. Sorry, I'm looking at this. Yeah, I think Dan Ige is number 11. So he'll end up jumping quite a bit, getting up there.
Somewhere in there.
He may, and there's other fights for him to be had. I just want to know what they're going to do with him. Are they going to try to get him beat and have him fight someone like David Onama, who's tall, long, lanky, someone who could try to keep him away because he's a small guy. And we saw that tonight. He's not a big guy. Like Dan Ige is not a big 45-pounder.
No, Dan's
Patricio's smaller than him. And he can't make the weight and be productive at 135. And so he's there where he's there at at the 145. But I agree with you, John. The monkey's off his back. And hopefully now he can just go out there and throw caution to the wind. Maybe we'll see the best Patricio.
Be free.
It's going to be, it's doesn't matter. He spent his whole career in one organization. It felt like home. Everything was home to him.
Yeah.
Okay. The same people, sure. the same ring, or not ring, but cage, the same at the back, the loading, everyone, the promoter, all of it was very similar, right? It was all the same. Then 15 years later, now I'm in the UFC. Like, holy shit, I'm here. Like now I'm like, this is all different. It seems bigger. It seems, which it is. It just seems bigger. It just seems like more. It just seems more pressure. It's more pressure on himself, and he's doing it to himself. You could tell. Like he did. I watched his 24/7 on the countdown. I mean, he's like, he cut ties with everything. I don't think he trained with Patrici. I think he literally left home, no family around, and had to separate himself from anything that was a distraction. And he just focused on the fight. And good for him. He needed to do that because at this stage in your career, I think honestly, if he would have lost, it would have cut him.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason. Like, I don't know what he's making, but I can't imagine he's cheap. But he's gonna have to have a better performance. They're gonna want him to fight better. They're gonna want him to have more output because he's got power, man. We saw it tonight. And I want to go back to what I was talking about with Yair Rodriguez on one of our past shows, as well as this show with Dan Ige. Other fighters, you can tell the way that they fight him, how much not only do they respect him, but they're a little concerned. Like, if this guy touches me, it could be over. Because like Yair was very hesitant. He's like, yeah, I just know I've seen him fight. I know him. And it's like, he's got, it's like that. Even him, he's like, I don't want to, like, I'm going to hit you and run. Like, that's the way he fought. And then
smart.
Absolutely. It's smart. Dan, I've never seen Dan fight that conservative ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Not against who? You have?
No.
Okay.
I've never seen him fight. I feel the same way. I've never seen Dan that cautious. He'll not that he always starts real fast, but he always builds, and he continues to build, as the fight goes on. And he was not in that position. I thought, Eric Nixick, when he said, hey, if there's anybody that believes in you, I believe in you. Mm-hmm. You can do this, right? And I'm thinking, yeah, he's down 2 rounds, and he went out and tried, but I think he could only do so much. He landed that kind of dip down kick into the face, mm-hmm. and that it stunned him, but not enough for anything. But you look and you go, it was something he felt made him go, oh, I got to be really careful because I can't just go in there and throw my hands.
I missed the dip down kick because ESPN. Thank you very much. I had a lot of freezing tonight, which was weird.
I had a lot of freezing too.
And then it jumped. Yeah, it froze and then it jumped. It jumped like 10 seconds backwards though sometimes. And then sometimes I missed like a whole 30 seconds. I was like, so, I mean, I guess my only hope is that they go to Netflix. That's my hope. All right. So what was the next fight? Sorry, I'm skipping all around on my.
We had Zellhuber against Michael Johnson.
Another great fight.
39-year-old Michael Johnson. What did I say? Look, he's fast. He's still fast, and he is. Even Zellhuber says he's fast.
Yeah,
I was like, the goddamn guy is, man. His hands are fast.
Yeah,
he's got a good stand up. He'll take chances. I thought it was an impressive win by Michael Johnson. I know a lot of people are going to sit there and put it like, oh, it didn't mean anything. Zellhuber's a good young fighter. Mm-hmm. Not easy for a 39-year-old man to beat that young kid, and he did, and he did it convincingly.
Yeah, I don't think he lost. He lost maybe 2 minutes of the whole fight. I thought he did a great job. I mean,
his left arm lost a lot of the fight. Dude, that left arm is going to be. People don't seem to understand how much being kicked into that arm continuously, how much it hurts and how much you feel it. And, and it's a smart tactic by Zellhuber because it will slow down the punch. It'll take away some of the power out of the punch. That's why you're doing it. And, but man, I'll tell you what, that arm is going to be swollen. He's going to be having his arm sitting in an ice bath because, man, it took a ton of shots.
Yeah, I think I was talking about Zellhuber earlier, just no sense of urgency. You've lost 2 rounds.
True.
In the 3rd round, there was like, let me just keep touching you. Let me just keep throwing, head kicks and seeing if they get there. And you weren't hitting with your shin, you were hitting with the tip of your foot. And I know that you don't need to hit with the shin to knock someone out when you head kick them, but you just got to touch them. You got to get it there fast. It doesn't take much to knock somebody out with a head kick, but you've got to get it there. And it was all like methodically set up. His movements, his motions. It's as if like he's out there like shadow boxing. Like there's no sense of an urgency in terms of him being in a fight. Because Michael Johnson was winning the exchanges, was winning everything. And I'm like, you're literally getting outworked by a 39-year-old. And I couldn't wrap my head around it. Like, make him fight an uncomfortable fight. Not to mention, you're fucking way bigger than him. Way
bigger.
Like, just get him to the clinch. If I'm somebody who is, I don't even know how old he is, but if I'm someone who's his age, Zellhuber's age, and I'm fighting a 39-year-old, I'm punching my way or kicking my way to a clinch. And then I'm hanging on you for a good 2 minutes until your arms feel heavy. And then whenever we break, I'm just going to barrage you. I'm going to touch you, kick you, long range, push kicks up the middle, head kicks. I'm just going to make you work with your hands, staying loyal to your face. Like there's game planning for this. And I just didn't see, I know he's Eric Nixick's boy and he train, Eric works with him, but that should have been the game plan from the jump. Was like, hey, let's get you in. You're bigger, you're younger. You can hang on him, make him tired. At 39 years old, sure, he's explosive, but he's only explosive if you let him keep it range. If you let him stay on that outside. Michael Johnson likes to box you at an outside range. He likes to fight you at the end of his punches. If you fight him in a phone booth, he's also not the same fighter. If you fight him in the clinch, he's not the same fighter. So I didn't understand the game plan, and I'm not trying to knock Eric Nixick or Zellhuber, but there was no adjustments made. It was like, okay, let's just keep doing what we're doing. No, dude, no, and nothing against Michael, man, but he's 39. He's not getting another title run, and any chance you had of building a name off of him, that's gone. Because he beat you. He beat you legit. Beat you pretty much the whole fight. Yeah.
True.
Vinicius Oliveira versus Kyler Phillips.
Dude, this is one of those ones that went exactly like I kind of thought. Kyler Phillips came out, had a lot of movement. He looked good in the first round. He was doing very well. He just doesn't have the power to make Oliveira respect him the way he needs to. And then he got tired. And when he got tired, you could see how everything just kind of, changed for him and stuff. And you got to look at Oliveira he's a young stud himself too. He is absolutely, he's got a good chin. He uses that chin, puts his hands down by his side, just keeps on walking forward. Mm-hmm. But man, he delivers a lot of volume. He throws hard with everything he's throwing, which when he's moving up with better talent, it's going to cost him. Yeah. He's going to have to, change that up. But, I thought he fought, a tough fight against a guy who was out there doing everything he could to win. In Kyler Phillips, he just doesn't have enough ammunition to stop someone like that.
No. I mean, he came out impressive in the first round. Like rocked Oliveira, sat him to his butt, correct? Yep. And then, had some great exchanges. But you cannot move that much and expect to not get tired. I mean, he's all over the place, John. And I enjoy watching him fight. But when you have a guy who's the freaking size of Oliveira, the guy's enormous. Here, like him and Zellhuber, I was like, you guys should be fighting like 2 weight classes up. Like,
it was absolutely. It looked so odd. Both Zellhuber against Johnson and then Kyler Phillips against Oliveira. I mean, looked like they were in different weight classes.
Yeah, I agree. I thought Oliveira should have been fighting 2 weight classes up. He should have been a 55-pounder. It's huge. With all
His
those
chest is big
muscles, and
enough
I'm
for
like,
it.
how the hell did you make the weight? Kyler Phillips, like I said in the midweek show, he's going to do great until he starts to get tired. And then when he gets tired, he doesn't have the physical strength to fight off Oliveira. Like he's not physically strong, so he's got to keep his back off the fence. He's got to keep the movement going. And I don't know if he could do that. And tonight we proved that he couldn't do it. You know, so he's talented. He's good when he's fresh. He's difficult to deal with. The movement was driving Oliveira crazy. You can tell he's like, come here, like Rocky chasing the chicken. Literally, that's exactly what it sounded like. When I was watching, I'm like,
exactly.
He's either gonna get caught coming in because he's getting frustrated, or he's gonna basically just wear him down because he's running him so much. He's gonna get his hands on him and just destroy him. Didn't destroy him, but it was one of those. It was definitely one-sided after that first round.
Yeah,
definitely. Next fight.
Yep.
Brendan Allen versus Marvin Vettori.
Well, this is the one that, you know what? We talk about all the time. It's a lot of times when, you get two guys that don't like each other and then, it just doesn't end up being that good a fight. This is a good goddamn fight. Yeah. They fought their asses off.
Yeah,
Marvin Vettori took some.
They already know each other, John. This is the
one.
Second fight. Like, once you already know you fought each other, okay. Like, hey.
I'll give it to, Brendan Allen did exactly what I thought in the beginning. He went for the takedown. He, worked from that. Vettori was able to get himself back to his feet, which he's always been, pretty respectful as far as being able to get himself off of the ground with just about anybody. So I was really impressed that Brendan Allen basically said, you know what, I'll beat you on the feet. And he did. After a while, it was Brendan Allen could do whatever he wanted. All of the feints that he was throwing, just little feints, all those movements, you could see Vettori biting on all of them. He was in control of that fight in the stand-up, and he looked really good. I give him credit, man. He looked, like he's supposed to fight. There's times when you watch Brendan Allen and you go, man, that guy's so talented. And then you'll watch him against another guy and you go, what happened? That's not the same guy. It's like, he just doesn't have – he has those nights where it's like, he just doesn't have it. He had it tonight. He looked great.
Yeah, I thought he looked great. Like, it seemed like that Vettori was always just slightly outside of range. He did land some clean shots occasionally, but just not enough to really take over the rounds. Brendan Allen, I thought the starting off with the wrestling was very key because that opened up the striking later on, and it kept it fresh in Vettori's mind that, hey, he could try to wrestle me. He could try to take me down here soon if I start landing to expect the takedown. And Brendan Allen just looked good. I liked how relaxed he looked out there. I liked how calm he was out there. I mean, but where I'm at right now with Marvin Vettori, you left King's Gym. Now you're an American Top Team. Yep. It's difficult, I know, to make changes in the gyms because the style is different for coaching. But I'm going to go into he's becoming, and someone brought this up, he's becoming a one-trick pony. It's only boxing. Yes. There's no kicks. There's really no wrestling. There's definitely no submissions. Like, where are we at? Like, this is, if you want to box, go box. Darren Till's looking for a fight. Luke Rockhold's looking for a fight. Like, if you want to box, just go box. But even tonight, you lost in boxing. So where are you at in your career? Like, you lost to a wrestler / grappler. Don't get me wrong, Brendan Allen can strike, but he outstruck you. The whole fight was on the feet pretty much after the first 2.5 minutes of the fight starting.
Yep.
And so if you're only boxing, then what else are you doing? We got to work with you on your knees. We got to work with you in your clinch. We got to work with you on getting some takedowns yourself, controlling top position. The wrestling is not always about, I'm going to get on top and do damage. No, the wrestling sometimes is to take you down and get my wind and gather myself and figure out what the next game.
Put pressure on you.
Yeah.
Put pressure on you and let me relax for a little bit and then just, Yeah.
Look, I was training today with there was 9 black belts on the mat today. And John, all of them were bigger than me. The only one that wasn't bigger than me, and actually she was taller than me, was a female. That was
Everyone's
the only one that didn't weigh more than me, but she was a female and she was taller than me. So when they get in mount, when they get to side control and they're putting pressure on you, it's like, oh man. It's like, especially when you're tired. When I was exhausted, John. There was moments where I was like, I may have to run to the bathroom, throw up. Oh, it was rough. It was rough, man. And of course, all the young black belts are like, "Hey, you next." I'm like, you can't say no. You can't say no. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of like with Marvin Vettori, he's got to make some adjustments. I'm hoping that he's now with ATT that he'll start using a couple more kicks. He'll start working on some of that wrestling, that grappling, but using knees, all of those things. When you have a guy who's built like him, I'm surprised he doesn't kick more. Like those, when you have the shorter legs, the stumpier legs, that shit hurts.
Yeah, but heavy legs.
Benson Henderson, like that, like the short,
heavy legs,
heavy stuff, like that kills. Just learn how to kick. He's come a boxer, and he's just not. It's not touching. It's not working, man. It's not working. You got outboxed by a wrestler / jiu-jitsu guy tonight. Not good. Not good.
True.
Veretennikov versus Prado.
A lot of people were complaining about, it was a close fight. I saw a lot of people saying, "Was it robbery? Is it robbery?" No, it wasn't. Prado came out.
Prado winning.
It's okay. A lot of people agree with you, and a lot of people don't, and that's fine. It was one of those. Either guy could win that fight.
Tell me I'm right.
What?
Prado won.
Should have won. No.
Prado should have won.
Veretennikov won the fight.
Okay, guys. This is what I want everyone. All you guys listening to this. This is how John is protecting his friends that work for the commission. This is John.
I'm not protecting anybody.
The refs, the judges.
I'm being honest. When I looked, that fight was, it was close. It was a close fight. I like some of the things that Prado did. I like some of the things. I thought Prado did a great job of getting himself back in the fight because he was in trouble. But it was, it was close. The second round is the round that you've got to really look at. And I want to say that it was the second and third. When you look at it, you could have given them to Prado, or you could have given the second to Veretennikov, and that's just however you did it. That's which way you were going to end up going. But I give it, both guys fought their asses off. I thought Veretennikov made too many mistakes. He did things in there that was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Jumping on top and then getting so high right away that, Prado's coming right out. And you look and you go, man, where's your fight IQ? What are you doing? Mm-mm. But, I thought it was, it's one of those, I'm not going to sit here and complain about it, because it was close, and both guys could have done better.
No, I agree. I absolutely agree. I think Prado, he made a bunch of mistakes, opportunities that he had to control the top position. He didn't do it. And then Veretennikov, same thing. Had moments where he could have done more pressure on the feet when he had Prado a little bit hurt. Didn't do that as well. Even in the grappling areas, didn't do that. It was a very sloppy fight. It was a fun fight.
Oh, it was totally. But it was. They beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah. Yep. That's normally how sloppy fights go.
That's true.
Sloppy fights.
It is. But that's a lot of times that's where we go. That was a fun fight. Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was sloppy as hell, but that's what made it fun.
Yeah. So. Prado to me is a lightweight. I don't know why he's at welterweight. I don't know if he can make the weight.
He needs to go down in weight.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was looking at, we talked about his reach and everything, and this is a 170-pound fighter. Mm-hmm. And I got guys that are 135 pounds that have a longer reach than Prado. And it's like, man, you got to at least kind of look at your frame and everything and say, okay, where can we, get this to where it's going to at least work for us? But, there's guys like, let's be honest, Pitbull. He's got shitty reach, but he seems to do well with it. So, it's not only
fucking power, John.
Well, I think Prado's got power too. I think Prado is strong. He's got power. It's, he takes too much damage right now because he's just not capable of stopping some of those things from happening. But the reach is a lot. 69 inches at 170 pounds. That is very short.
All right, so we get let's see, how do you say his name? Gautier versus Valentin.
Gautier.
Gautier.
Gautier. Dude, the guy, there's nothing about that guy that doesn't look good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's built like a brick shit house, man. He fucking hits like a fucking truck, and it's just like, man, he is he's impressive. It's really gonna be the question of how does he do as he goes up with the talent?
Yeah.
When he starts facing people that, don't just stand in front of him and give him a target. Don't keep their head right down the center line. So when he hits him, these things change. And so how's he going to do then? We're going to find out. But he's fun to watch. He's got power. He's athletic. So we're going to see how far Prince can take him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dulatov to me was not only is he a good-looking guy, which I'm extremely jealous about because I thought I was a good-looking guy still left in the sport. But man, the guy can fight. He's got that tall, long, lanky body. He can fight, and he's leaving on Monday apparently to a modeling job. Jealous as fuck. But he's giving fucking Luke Rockhold some competition. Hey, this guy can fight.
Luke a lot of competition. It's not only that guy's family's got money.
Oh.
So he doesn't have to fight. He doesn't have to fight at all. He just likes to fight, him and his brother. So congratulations to him. He looked great.
Look,
absolutely.
If you come from a family with money and you don't need to fight and you're still doing it, there's fucking something wrong with you. Okay. Jimmy Crute, he's back. Gets the win.
Jimmy
for him.
Jimmy Crute, he's got the Theo Vaughn haircut, man. But you know what? Jimmy Crute he's a handful because he actually is tough. He's had some weird fights. If you go back and you look at some of the fights that he's had, who was he fighting when he got kicked the one time? Just one fucking kick changed the fight. Was it Anthony Smith? I think it was Anthony Smith because he was doing well with Anthony Smith, and all of a sudden he gets kicked one time on that perennial nerve, and his foot just started flopping, and he couldn't control it. It's because the nerve is not firing, so the muscle's not reacting the way it's supposed to, and they stopped the fight on him. He's had some bad luck, but the guy is really he's skilled on the ground. That arm bar he pulled off was beautifully done.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, when he stuck it behind his arm, and you're looking, you're going, oh man, that is going to be nasty. And it was, but just beautifully done and stuff. So, he's got Sam Greco in his corner. So if you've ever known Sam, he's crazy. Anybody that can have Sam as their coach and do well says, you know what, he's a tough dude. So I have, I enjoy watching Jimmy Crute, fight other than the haircut. He looks good.
Ryan Spann with a great performance at heavyweight.
Yeah.
Not good bad. On What'd him. You think? Good control, good top position, but it's in round one. John, my questions with him will always be, how will he be after round one?
Yeah.
At heavyweight, I don't know. We're going to find out. I think the 205-pound cut, whatever it is, but now at heavyweight, great submission, but he did some work before that too. Was able to wrestle, get the fight to the ground, dominant top position, got the guillotine. So good on him. Good for him. Welcome to the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division needs all the help they can get right now.
Yes, they do.
All right. Bruno Ferreira versus McVey.
That was a beautiful
armbar transitions.
You talk about armbar. He slid. He knew exactly what he was doing, where he was going, the direction. Man, that thing was put on beautifully. I was really. The Hulk is good. The guy, he's got power in his hands. He can fucking grapple like a son of a bitch. He's got some talent.
Yeah, I was impressed. I was like, holy shit, this guy can grapple. Holy cow.
Yeah.
All right, hey, that's going to wrap up our UFC talk and conversation, but let's go ahead and before we move on, hey, make sure you guys join us over at OnlyFans. It is free. I did a live show tonight for OF as well as all of our other platforms. But we also go live on OnlyFans. Subscribe to us over there. It is free on Tuesday nights, 9:30 Eastern time. Become a member as well. So tonight, when I did my live chat or my live show, just like the watch along, it was great. We had probably close to 600-700 people on there at one time. And it was great, man. We had a great time. It was fun. People were asking questions, and obviously a lot of super chats came in. But it was great just to have people on there and having conversation. And I even loved when people were giving other people hard times for being negative towards some of the fighters. I like that. That's fun. But honestly, had a great time. Follow us over on OnlyFans and also Drink Element right here. Drink Element. John, I know John doesn't have his can with him. He's in a hotel. Oh, he does. There you go, buddy.
Ooh,
and Drink Element. Use the link down below in the descriptions, and they will send you a bonus package with every purchase. George, let's go ahead and talk about the PFL. You want to talk about the PFL now, George?
Sure, I can talk about the PFL if you guys want. It was actually a pretty exciting fight. The main event, the whole main card was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Main card was good.
Mm-hmm.
Main card was good. You got that Johnny Eblen versus Costello Van Steenis fight. You looked at it and I go, I completely was wrong in this. I said, look, the problem's going to be Costello Van Steenis tends to burn out and cardio wise gets a little tired where Johnny just keeps building. Johnny looked fantastic in the beginning of that fight. Just looked great. And Costello just, stayed the course, stuck in there, took shots, kept, fighting back from the takedowns, doing all the things until I will tell you that's possibly one of the best finishes to a championship fight with the championship changing hands that you'll ever see because, Johnny Eblen had that fight on the cards. He had it won. And in the 5th round with 4 minutes and 50 seconds gone of the 5th round, he sinks in that choke and gets, a technical submission, choking Johnny unconscious with 10 seconds left in the fight. That was one hell of a win by Costello Van Steenis.
John, I like both of them. I'm friends with both of them.
Yeah.
They're both fantastic guys. Like very much how I feel about the UFC's main event tonight. But Johnny Eblen is a fantastic person. I've sat cage side with him a couple of times with the PFL as well as in Bellator and just talk shop. And Costello Van Steenis, every time I've been in London or anytime I've been in the UK, whatever, he seems to pop up, and he is one of my all-time favorite fighters. And you know this. I'm like, he has that James Bond villain look to him, but he's nice.
Oh, yes, he does.
He does,
awesome.
right?
Yeah.
He's got the scar on the face, good-looking guy. Like, I feel like he's a good-looking guy. Most people are like, oh, he is. I think he is. Whatever. He's a good-looking guy. I think it's because he's got a tan. Like,
he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, he fights his ass
you
off.
could sit there and say
I'm looking at him right now in the shirt dog picture. He's fucking shredded, ripped. Like, he comes to fight every single time. I love everything about him and his style. Same thing with Johnny, both of them. But you're talking about literally the last 10 seconds of a fight that you're going to lose, whether it goes, if it ends up going to the scorecards, and you manage to squirt yourself out, get to the back, get the hook, sink the choke, all within a 5-8 second period. Gets the back, gets the hooks, gets the choke. Holy shit. I think what took so long, it wouldn't have even been that long had the ref not had to check to see if Johnny was asleep because Johnny didn't tap because Johnny's a fucking stud. That's why. Yeah. It just was absolutely insane. Johnny
was out for a couple seconds before he stopped it.
Yeah. Look, you got to give the champ every opportunity, right?
Absolutely.
He gave him every opportunity.
If he's just getting choked, it's no big deal.
Jesus, man, Johnny's a fucking animal, though. To think like the moment to tap didn't even cross his mind. It didn't even cross his mind because I didn't see his hands go to tap at all. It was literally like just trying to fight the hand, and then there was no tap, and it was asleep. But that fight leading up, I mean, Johnny, like you said, looked fantastic the first 2 rounds. 3rd round looked good. Won the first 3 rounds. Round 4, Johnny loses. You could see
and he was getting tired.
Yes, John, it was the fatigue, and that's all the build up to it. And even you and I have said, Johnny, they call him Johnny Pressure. They call them Canelo, Ginger Canelo. They call him all these names. He doesn't get tired. He's the guy that pushes the actions around 3, 4, whatever it is. Nah, not today, man. I was shocked. I was really, really shocked.
So was I.
Canelo was the one pushing the actions around 4 and 5 in the championship rounds. Did Johnny, let me ask you this, did Johnny push too hard in the first 2 rounds, in first 3 rounds, and then kind of started wear himself out? Did he try to make Costello tired? Seeing what we saw. Like, hey, he tends to get tired as the fight goes on. Let's make him more tired by me pushing the pace because I know I can recover. I know I can fight. And all of a sudden, Costello was still there.
Yeah.
You think that's what it was?
No doubt about it. I do think that, the first 2 rounds he pushed really hard. And, I mean, Costello was having a hard time staying in it. Let's be honest. He was in it, but he was taking a lot of damage. A lot of shots were being thrown. And he was not looking good in that fight. And you go, Jesus Christ, he's walking through Costello. And I have a lot of respect for Costello Van Steenis as a fighter. So, man, this is really impressive. And I even texted you. I said, Johnny's a bad man.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like, you know, just watching what he was doing to what, you know, I knew was a really good fighter. And at the end of the third round, I was looking at him and I go, boy, he is exhausted. You could tell with the people who was in his corner, how they were dealing with him, the way he was looking down. And Van Steenis had that look of like, okay, well then by the end of the fourth round, you went, man, I'll tell you what, Johnny's gonna have a hard time getting through this round. And he takes Van Steenis down. You go, okay, you know, he's fighting smart. That's the way, you know, you're gonna win the fight. And Van Steenis turns that right at the end and gets top position on him and then takes over and gets his back. And you went, holy shit, he has a chance here. And then he sunk it in. And as soon as it was under the chin, I went, oh, he might get this. And he did. And congratulations to him, man. You talk about never saying die, never giving in, never giving up, you know. Well, and a lot of people aren't going to say something about him while, you know, giving up and stuff. Oh, he won. Yeah, because he didn't give up and he had a chance. You know, as long as he had a chance, he was willing to go with it. And that's what made him a champion now. So congratulations to the new middleweight champion in the PFL, Costello Van Steenis.
Yeah, most of you guys don't know who the hell Van Steenis is. You guys, you know, most of you barely know who Johnny Eblen is. Yeah. That being said, I want you guys to, if you guys go back and listen or to some of our shows with regards to Van Steenis, he was on his run to the title. He was basically next in line. Then he tore his knee out really bad in training. And then he was gone for almost 2 years. Like, so he's just getting back into the stride of everything. Like he's finally found his rhythm again. You know, he had some bumps and bruises when he came back. He was trying to figure out, you know, if his body and his leg could end up, you know, healing and good enough to come back. He's now put himself into a run. I mean, he is somebody that I think the sky is the limit for him. Same thing with Johnny Eblen. I'm not sour on Johnny Eblen. People are quick to jump ship. Johnny Eblen's still as good as he really is. Both of them, though, I think this is going to be one of those things where they both make each other better. You know, because I think Costello's got to win over Fabian as well, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's got to win over Fabian. Johnny's got 2 wins over Fabian. It really comes down to these two being at the top. You know, these are their 2 top guys. You know, if Impa is at 185, but Impa just coming off the loss as well. But there's guys in there that, well, Silveira, like
Silveira.
Yeah, will he be at 80? He's at 85, right?
He's 85 now.
Yeah, but he's another guy that he's fun. Like he's fun to watch. He's a gamer. He can wrestle. He can, you know, he's gonna make him. These guys are all gonna make each other better at 185, and you're gonna end up seeing some really good fights coming in at 85. I'm glad they finally have this fucking weight class. Jeez, talk about just fucking beat up that shit, right? Like, just
how about about time?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, but good, man. Congratulations, Costello Van Steenis. Like I said, man, one of my all-time favorite fighters. Love watching you fight. Big fan of yours. I've told you that before to your face. You know, and Johnny, man, there's no doubt that Johnny's gonna be back. I have no concern. I wouldn't be surprised if they give him an automatic rematch. I would not be surprised. Yep. Who else is he gonna fucking fight? He's already beat everybody else. Who else is going to fight?
Yeah.
So that's the fight to make. You know, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Johnny Eblen and Silveira.
No, but they're both out of American Top Team, so I don't think that's going to happen.
That's true. I didn't even think about that, John. I was just thinking in terms of me being selfish. I want to see the fight.
I just want to see the fight.
Dakota Ditcheva versus Sumika Inaba.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what. I give Sumika so much credit because she showed how tough she is. She went after Dakota trying to, do damage to her. Dakota is just unique as far as a 125-pound fighter. I do believe that Inaba should be in the strawweights, which is 115. Yeah. But, Dakota is just built for 125, and she's long and she's dangerous on the inside. She, you get a lot of fighters that, they fight good at range, but they don't fight good on the inside in the clinch. And Dakota fights well everywhere.
Yeah.
The only place that you really don't see her fighting is on the ground very much. And that's just because she's the one that's making the decision for the most part because people can't get her down. But Dakota looked actually, so good in this fight. She did a ton of damage to Sumiko, and I have nothing but admiration for Sumiko and the way that she stayed in the fight, because I wasn't too sure that she should. I wasn't too sure that her corner, which is her husband, should have allowed her to go out for the third round. She took a lot of damage. She took knees to the body that you could tell hurt her bad.
Yeah.
But she stayed in there. She made it all the way to the end of the fight. But it was clear that Dakota was just the better fighter right
Insane,
now.
Right?
Yeah.
Dakota looked absolutely fantastic. I figured that she'd have. I figured Inaba would have a hard time with the reach, and then I also figured she'd have a hard time with the clinch. Just inside the tie plum, when the person's taller than you, the only options you really have is trying to get to their legs or their body lock position faster, and she just wasn't able to do it. Like, Dakota's very good at, like, anytime she got close enough, she clinched right away, pulled her close, and then flung her to the side. So what she was doing is stepping off either right or left and then changing the direction. Like you see Muay Thai guys do. They change the direction and throw your balance off. And she was able to land knees, elbows. I mean, I was in
hopes. Landed some big time.
Yeah, I was in hopes that her corner would throw the towel in. I was texting you. I was like, do you think if I'm her corner, which is her husband, I'm like, stop the fight. Like, you're not going to win this fight, because she wasn't throwing anymore either. She was just walking forward.
No. Yeah.
And that's what threw me. I'm like, if she was throwing big shots and trying to land, but she wasn't. She was just walking forward, like putting herself in the clinch. She wasn't able to land the big shot. She wasn't even really throwing the big shot to get the fight out of there. If she was like loading up and trying to get her out of there, I would have been more inclined to let her carry on. But I'm with you on the fact that I would have wanted her to stop. And if you ever met Sumiko Inaba, man, she's such a sweetheart. And you hate to see. I guess this is where like the male gene comes in, or my toxic masculinity comes in. Is that I don't want to see.
Is that what it is?
I don't want to see girls get beat up like this, man. Like, not like that. Like that to me was just. Yeah. She took some big shots. She's too tough for her own good, and it was a lot. Yep. So it was a lot as a male.
But nice win by Dakota. She did everything she's supposed to, and broke her hand too. Oof. Broke her left hand during the fight. So
explains all the clinch and elbows or knees.
Yeah, well, did you see where they actually showed it? Where she's looking at her corner, Conan, and going, I broke me hand.
So. AJ McKee versus Ahmed Magomedov.
AJ back at 145.
Better.
I tell you what, huge difference, isn't there?
John,
you just look at his. Yes. That's the whole difference. He did not get tired during the fight, and there was a lot of grappling going on. And come on, Magomedov was, he was fighting his ass off, but he was taking big shots, and he kept, trying to do what he could to, stop AJ. AJ was just one step ahead for most of the fight. Yeah, he got taken down in the beginning, but when he got himself up, he looked great. He landed some good stand up to the point where Magomed did not want to be in the stand up with him at all. He realized, I can't be here. Yeah. He took that kick to the body at the end of the round that you went, oh, and you could tell, and he dropped his mouthpiece, bent over, and you go, that might have been the end of the fighter right there if this, round didn't end. But I thought AJ looked great at 145. This is the way he should be at, because he has to work his ass off to get to that weight and be in shape, and that's a good thing for him.
No, I agree 100%. I think this is where he belongs. And, I think his dad talked about it. Like, when he went up to 55, his dad goes, yeah, he wants to go to 55. He's got the body frame for it, sure, but it's his way of saying, I don't want to train as hard. I want to do the easier way. And his dad's like, dad was on board. Like, hey, you're going to learn the hard way. And then when he got up there, he realized
that's been Antonio his entire life.
Good for him.
I've known Antonio for. Oh yeah, Antonio is look. If there's one thing about AJ's father, is he's a street guy as far as he'll tell you exactly the way he feels and everything, and he doesn't sugarcoat anything. Oh, so this is what you want to do? It's a good idea. Okay, let's do it. And he's doing that, going, I'm going to prove to you you're a fucking idiot. Yeah, that's just the way Antonio is. But
you've got to learn lessons the hard way. Like, I battle this all the time with my wife, because I'm like, like we bought my son this thing for lacrosse today that goes around his goal, and like he's out there trying to put it up, and she's out there trying to like correct him and fix him. I'm like, no, let him figure it out. It's his goal. Like he's gonna have to figure it out. But and then also too on my side, I'm like, well, it's also way bigger than him, so it's hard for him to reach in this net. So she's got to help, but like she can't seem to just let him fail, And in this situation, Antonio has no problem. He's like, yeah, he's going to find out the hard way. And when he does, he'll figure it out. And then, we'll make adjustments based on whatever it is. I think he understood in his last fight that he can't afford to have performances like that. And these kids at 55, they seem like they're not big, but they're thick. They're big. Like Paul Hughes has got those.
They're just stronger.
Legs. They're just physically like that. This is how they're built. And so one of the things that AJ had going for him at 45, he's the guy that's the bigger, stronger,
he's the stronger one. Exactly.
Yeah, and he's fast.
Yep. And he's still fast. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've got something they got something on their hands. And the PFL is probably like, thank God he dropped back down to 45. Now we got someone we can build. And this is really what it comes down to, because we've got Usman and we've got Paul Hughes. We pay a lot of money for those guys. AJ, we pay a lot of money for you too, but you could be the champion at 45 and we can have another champion at 55. Now we've got marketing, like the PFL, like they need to be thinking like that. I mean, they can't seem to do anything else right, but yeah, they're doing that.
You got this right. At 145, they've got Pinedo that they can put him against if he wins, or they've got Kabalayev who they can put him against if Movlin wins. So you got a great opportunity there, even between the three, that hey, you've got fights to be made. So
Jeremy Kennedy's there. I mean, you got Jeremy Kennedy. You've got Mads Burnell's still there. I think at 45, or no, he's at 55.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
there's fights to be had there. 45. Zaynukov versus Izumi.
Izumi, just went about like I thought. I said that the wrestling for both, that Zuba, I can't even say the name.
Zaynukov. Yeah.
I knew his wrestling is more dynamic because the Japanese fighter is a Greco-Roman specialist and stuff. Mm-hmm. But this kind of ended up. I was a little bit surprised at how tired Zaynukov ended up being in the fight, but he fought a good fight. He fought smart. He out wrestled him for the most part, and when he was in the top positions, did good.
Izumi looked actually phenomenal. He was just one step behind. He had a couple moments there. We had some good exchanges where he, could have went ahead and could have started changing the tide. Just wasn't able to capitalize.
Got caught in some bad positions.
Yeah. Yeah, but I gotta be honest, Izumi, I'm kind of impressed with Izumi. I was actually impressed with him he didn't look like he was breathing heavy. He just looked like he was struggling with the little bit of the technique, but also a little bit of the strength. Like it felt like the strength went to Zaynukov. Corey Anderson versus Goltsov.
Oh, this is what. This is all I want to say about that fight, because we talked about it before. I said, look, when Corey Anderson uses his wrestling and goes for ground and pound, he can beat anybody. He's that good. When he tries to make a promotion happy and say, okay, I'll just be a stand-up fighter. Well, that's not who he is, and this just goes to that point. It goes to Goltsov is a way bigger human being than Corey. And you look at, we're talking, one's 6'5", one's 6'1.5", 2. One's 260 pounds, one's, 230, we'll say. But look at what happens when Corey utilizes his wrestling and goes in the ground and pound. Because look at when they stopped that fight, he was starting to beat the shit out of Goltsov. And Goltsov had no answer. He was just, I'm covering because I can't stop what's occurring. And there was like a minute 30 left in that, round when that fight was stopped. So it wasn't going to get any better for Goltsov.
No.
And Goltsov is a good fighter. He's a good stand-up fighter. But Corey was able to stand with him, and do fine in the stand-up with him. It's just that Corey Anderson, when he is going to just fight the way he can fight, and that is use his stand-up to get to his wrestling, to go to ground and pound, Corey Anderson's the man. He's a tough son of a bitch.
Yeah. Look, to me, Corey, I felt like was struggling in the beginning with the physical size. He was having a hard time getting the clinch. Yeah, he was having a hard time keeping the clinch, getting the clinch. It threw me off that Goltsov tried to take him down the very first exchange in the clinch. I was like, what are you doing?
Made no sense.
Yeah, I was like this is where he lives. Like, I mean, I didn't get it. I was like, all right, whatever. But you know what? You wasted energy. You could have kept it on the outside.
I looked at it and I thought, okay, somewhere in there they had watched Carl Moore and Corey fight, and his coaches thought, Carl Moore one time got on top of Corey, and Corey's not good off his back, so this will be good. Or it was, or they watched the second Nemkov fight, and I was like, why are you doing that? You've got the length and everything and the power in the stand-up. Well, keep this thing standing. But
I mean, maybe they didn't realize that Nemkov could fucking wrestle. That's the difference. Look, I think Goltsov outside on the outside, he's got a great jab. He's got some good boxing. His kicks are powerful when he throws them. It's just not a good game plan. And you can see it right off the bat. Like, it was, I want to say this. I almost feel like the PFL fighters are a little intimidated by the Bellator fighters. I see the exchanges, and I'm not knocking them at all. I'm simply saying, like, no. I've always felt like they don't know what to expect. Like, Bellator was the bigger promotion. So when you're bringing over a bigger promotion, they have the better fighters. And it was proven when they did the champ v champ thing and all that stuff, right? Like, but on top of that, it was the guys that have a bigger recognition, bigger names, but also just have a little bit more of a dog in them, I think. But it just, I'm seeing that from some of these. The only one that I haven't seen that in is Dakota Ditcheva. That was it. Impa Kasanganay, he didn't show any respect to Johnny Eblen, but Impa Kasanganay was also out of the UFC. Like, he'd fought in the UFC, had some fights there, and he'd also just won the tournament. So he's super confident on what he could do when he fought Johnny Eblen. But yeah, I don't see those guys. I see them almost like, okay, like, this guy's Corey's coming from 205 to heavyweight, and you're telling me that you weren't out there trying to impose your will. Like, let me just stick and move. I'm the taller, bigger, harder hitting, fighter. And Corey's been clipped before. So, like, all you gotta do is just touch you. All you gotta do is just touch you. Just step, keep the space, keep you away, and I can touch you. And it just wasn't there. He punched his way to the clinch and tried to take him down. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Threw me out. It threw me off, John. It really did. John, I don't know any of these other people on this card. So
don't even worry about the rest of them. None of it matters.
Yeah. They're all local fighters out of there. But I thought the main card of the PFL was pretty damn good.
It was good.
I thought it was pretty good.
Good fights.
Yeah, let's do this. What are you gonna rate the card for the PFL card?
I'm sorry, what number? What rating?
What are you gonna rate it out of 10? 1 being the shittiest, 10 being the best.
Going off of the fights that they put on there and stuff, I actually thought most of them were pretty good. I'd say 8.5.
Okay, I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you.
Of the main card.
The main card. I didn't watch any of the prelims, man. I didn't watch any of the prelims. It was just too early in the day for me. I'm still trying to enjoy my coffee. I thought the Corey Anderson fight was shaping up to be a good fight. Corey with a great job of getting the finish. The Izumi and Zaynukov fight was a good fight, back and forth
good
battle.
fight. Tough fight.
Good. If you like high level grappling and wrestling, I thought it was great. AJ McKee looking good, back to his true form. Magomedov, being a Team Habib guy, was a dog. Just kept
tough
fighting,
as hell.
Couldn't change the tide. Dakota Ditcheva, this fight was the one-sided fight, but I love Sumiko Inaba, so I had to make sure that I tuned into the bitter end. And Costello Van Steenis, I think, put himself on the map.
Fantastic.
Over Johnny Eblen.
Fantastic
fight. Finish all those things, knowing that he tried to finish. I thought it was a good card. I give it an 8.5. I thought I almost gave it a 9. Only because the finish in the championship fight was so good. Now let's go to the UFC card. What would you rate that?
Main card?
Yeah.
Just rate main card?
Yeah, rate the main card.
Main card, other than the fight that is gonna bring it down is really the one that I was looking forward to the most, which was Pitbull and Dan. But I'd say 8.5. I thought the Dustin and Max fight was a tough, great fight. I thought Paulo Costa against Kopylov, I thought he looked great. I mean, I thought the Kevin fucking Holland versus Dan Rodriguez fight was fantastic.
Yeah.
So overall, 8.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably rate both of them. I'm gonna probably rate both of them a 9. Yeah, 8.5 at 9, but I'm leaning more towards 9 on both of them. I looked at the main event, just the level of what's at stake. The BMF title, but Dustin's last fight. That holds a little bit more water to me. Like it holds a little bit more weight to me than
just like the end of the round compared to the beginning of the round. Got it.
Yeah. So that's how it works. But I'm gonna rate it a 9.
That's how it works.
I'll give their
all right. What?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
You said you okay.
What about a guy named Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois? Did you watch that fight?
I did watch that fight. I missed the first round, but normally the first round sucks anyways. Bunch of nothing.
Don't matter.
Yeah. I mean, what were my thoughts on it was that Dubois had moments, but just in 5 rounds, you could tell that Dubois was was able to touch him, was able to kind of make him respect him, but it just wasn't his chin. It seemed like if Usyk caught him a little bit, it rocked him. And every time it moved him a little bit off. But I was like that first time he went down didn't seem like it was a hard shot, John. The second time he went down was a hard shot. The first shot didn't seem like it was a hard shot.
Okay, second time when he didn't get up.
Yeah.
What'd you think? Was he that hurt?
I mean, I was questioning the first time he got knocked down.
As soon as the 10 count came, he got right up, didn't wobble, and walked right across towards his corner. No. I'm looking, going, you didn't want any more. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all.
But let me ask you this. Was it because that he felt something in there by Usyk, or was it because it was, shit, I'm getting tired. This guy's got so much output. This guy just stays in my face.
No.
Was it that?
I think, yeah, I think it was everything. I thought it was the shots he was taking. And then eventually he was like, I can't stop him. Because this was their second match, time they fought, and a lot of the controversy came off in the first fight was that Dubois was, he hit him low and people said it wasn't low, and you looked and you go, no, it's low, but okay, whatever you're going to sit there and say. But I think Usyk was of the mindset, I'm not only going to hit you with hard shots, I'm going to pressure you and make you fight.
Yeah.
And I think that, Dubois was, ready for it, in his mind. And then when it was happening, couldn't handle it. Just couldn't handle it. But
well, I'm wondering because Tyson Fury's back and they're basically saying
for only the 52nd time.
Yeah, but I mean they're basically saying that he's gonna pretty much get an automatic title shot. I mean, who else would Usyk fight?
Oh, there's a couple guys out there that are coming up. I'm trying to think of the names of them.
How come they don't have him fight Ruiz? I don't get it. Like I haven't Ruiz and him, there's a similar output. Usyk's got more output than Ruiz, but they're not. Neither one of them are both they're not big heavyweights. But the output's there, the speed's there. I think that'd be a fantastic. But anyways, they don't give Ruiz a whole lot of credit because of how he ended up losing to Joshua. That second time. But he's still had some good success. He's only got 3 or 4 losses in his whole career. 38
He doesn't have to. I want to say he's got 2 losses.
Jesus, man, crazy.
I want to say he's got 2. 30 something and 2.
It's embarrassing. No respect for the chubby Mexican. John, I trained with a little short chubby Mexican today. He's a brown belt. This dude, he fucking bounced around me. I was like, dude, calm down. He's about 200 pounds, 195, something like that. This dude had short little legs, stubby little body, like built like Kelvin Gastelum, but like thicker legs and shorter, but just built like him, like SpongeBob. But this dude he moved. I was like, dude, this guy, settle down, man. I'm on round like 7 right now. You got to stop moving. Like, you got to understand who you're grappling with. I'm in my late 40s. Like, I'm about to turn 50. Like, come on, dude. Like,
don't be making no excuses about your age.
Man,
you're fucking with you're screwing with me and my age on your shirt there. I don't want to hear anything about I'm getting old. I can't roll with these guys.
This is reality. George, Keto George, wake up, buddy. Let us know what you got. What do you got for news?
All right. Well, I'll drop a fresh hot news right from the
shit!
UFC
You said you were going to drop a fresh hot one. I was like,
fresh hot one for
I
you.
thought you said deuce. I thought you said fresh hot deuce. Or I was like, wait, what?
I might do that too if we keep
You
going.
move back to the farm country, and all of a sudden you're dropping deuces now, huh?
Tell you, you're dropping a hot steamer, man.
Go right
coming in hot from the UFC 318 press conference, Dana White shuts down the chances of John Jones fighting at the White House next year. He said, and I quote, "I can't risk putting him in a big position, in a big spot, and have something go wrong, especially the White House card." Is Dana White officially done with John Jones?
Yes.
Nope.
He's done. I'm so happy this is happening. I know people were like, "Oh, Josh, you hate John because of DC." No, I don't hate John at all. I love the fact that he's a very talented fighter. The way he drugged this thing out for so long, like I said, I'm happy to be done with it. What this sport needs is, nothing against Dustin or Max or Justin, it needs that fresh new crop of fighters to come in. John leaving, Dustin's made his way out tonight. Max is still young enough to, and Justin's already talked about potentially leaving. He's talking about retirement already. You've got Islam will not be around much longer. I'm telling you guys right now, he will not be around much longer. You need a new crop. And as long as John tries to stick around, the new crop can't come in. And we can't see what the new crop does. Like, you got to move on. And that's, I think, what's holding this sport back right now. We're in that limbo phase, John, of fighters that the old fighters just will not relinquish their belts because they're still that damn good. And then the young fighters are having a hard time getting them from them. And so that's where we're at right now. And in the meantime, fighters like, oh, I've seen that guy fight a bunch of times. And, I'm not overly, I'll see it next time. And then the young fighters, no one's really captivated because they can't beat the old guys yet. So we're in that limbo right now. And I think John's one of those guys holding it up. And with all this court case stuff and everything else going on with him, Dana ain't taking no chances. No chances.
That's it.
No matter of
I look at it and I go,
dude, even with the Trump dance, it's not happening.
Even with the Trump dance and all that stuff, I look and I go, the UFC cannot have anything with that fight card that's going to cause them a problem. And I totally understand why Dana goes, nope, he will not be on it. And if John wants to come back and fight later on, go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Is there a double standard, though? Will he still have Conor on that card, even though the dick pic came out and
Conor's not going to be on that card. Conor will not be on that card. No way. Especially not after the weight on the
weight on the Peter?
On the hog.
And
you put the weight on the hog. You put the weight on the hog and start taking pictures.
Are we calling it a hog?
Well, we call it potato dick. Is that what she calls
Irish potato?
Something like that. An Irish potato head.
My verdict on it.
You can't do those things.
Yeah, my verdict on it is that Dana's washed his hands of him. Like, basically, I think this is what happened. Dana pressured him to try to get that fight. That fight never came to fruition. He's like, I'm fucking done with you. I'm done. Like, we did. Remember, they did like a 5-year battle, 3-year battle of him not fighting because we were going back and forth with the contract stuff on the Ngannou stuff. Ngannou leaves. And now John wants to fight. He knows that the fight to make. Sure. He's like, hey, I can take down Cyril Gane. Hey, I can fight a 42-year-old. I did everything you want. Dana did everything John wanted. Give you this fight. You fight Cyril Gane. Give you the John Jones fight. Or not John Jones, but Stipe fight. Make the interim champion wait. You don't fight him. Make him wait. and still, and then you go and bounce out. I'm done with you.
Yeah.
I'm done. That's how Dana works.
I
don't blame him.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. Because like, Daniel, I've been in many of times conversations with Scott Coker. He's done a lot of deals for people and try to help them get along in their career, and then they turn around and burn him. He's like, I'm done. I'm done, dude.
Yep.
I'm not even trying to do it. What else you got, Keto?
All right. So, for maybe the first time ever, Renato Moicano does not want some money. He is declining to take any of the money from the UFC lawsuit. He said in a tweet, and I quote, "A contract is a contract. If you believe it was bad, you shouldn't have signed it. Simple as that. Deal with your actions. Free market." What do you think about this decision?
More money to me. But I do want to say this because I was pretty involved in making sure that AJ Johnson or Anthony Johnson's kids, Rumble, his kids got his money, and being involved in that was understanding that if Money Moicano doesn't want his money and you want to help and you want to say, hey, give it to other people and you believe in that, you could have taken that money though, put it into like some sort of mutual fund or investment fund and whatever that money and taken dividends and given that to your local community. Or you could have just taken the money and donated it to your local kids' sports or your local kids' schools. And you could have bought laptops for the local school down the street. You could have put shoes on people's feet.
You could have put fucking, you know, sports equipment into the school or whatever. Here's the thing that Moicano is missing. I understand what he's saying, and he's right. Okay, when he sits there and he says, "Hey, you signed the contract. You knew what you're getting. You got your money, and now you want more. You know, you don't deserve it. I'm not taking the money." Okay, and I understand that, but there's a difference between taking the money and what you do with the money. Because when you take a look and say, you know, is the UFC going to be able to keep the money that Moicano is not going to be taking? No. The money is what the money is. Yeah. They're paying out this amount of money no matter what. No matter how many people it goes to, it is this specific number. $375 million is being paid out by the UFC. And look at, they're happy. They're going to sit there and tell you, take it. Yeah. Take the freaking money, okay? It's not going to change the fact that, you know, they're going to like you more because you didn't take it. Because they're having to pay out that amount of money no matter what. And so if you're going to do something and say, well, okay, what can I do to make it so the money goes to something that I think is worthwhile or something? That's when you say, okay, I'll take the money and I'm going to put it all to charity and I'm going to pick what charity it is. If it's, you know, I'm going to give it to Dustin Poirier's, you know, foundation or whatever. You know, great, do it. But not taking the money is not in any way going to, you know, benefit the UFC. The UFC is paying out the same amount of money.
Yeah, I just feel like you could have taken that and invested into, like you said, some sort of charity, some sort of local talent, whatever it is. You could have helped feed, you know, families. You could have done something with the money. And like I said, in no way, I'm not going to try to sit here and talk, I get more money. AJ's family, Anthony Rumble Johnson's family gets more money. Every fighter in that lawsuit that's taking the money is going to get more money now because of it. Cool. That's cool. But I just want you to know, like, you could have taken the money and put it to something to help the good in your community.
Good.
And that's like, that's kind of where you're at right now. Like for me, I'm putting it away from my, like, you know, that money's going to go to college fund, whatever it is, put into, you know, some sort of, you know, in some sort of educational fund for them. That's it. Like it's set aside. Like we already have one, but like I'm going to set another one aside for them, whatever it is. Like you could have used it for something. Whether you sign the contract or not, the UFC's happy, like you said, to write this off and move on with their business model. What else you got for us, George? One more.
All right, I'll end it off on something that I thought was a little bit funny when I saw it. So I don't know if you say your excellence, my excellence, our excellence, but Turkey Al-Sheikh, he made a tweet, and I guess he realized that a certain MMA boxing journalist named Ariel Helwani had unfollowed him. So he made a tweet, and it says, his tweet says, "This is a sad day. Ariel Helwani has unfollowed me. Not sure how I will be able to go with success in boxing without his support. and he added this cute little cartoon.
The fact that Ariel unfollowed me and you also, Josh.
Oh, he unfollowed me?
I'm sure he's unfollowed me. And so it's like, oh my God, how tragic. I think it's funny that Turkey looked at it and said, what am I going to do? Look, Ariel is that kind of person. He gets very sensitive about things. Okay, be sensitive. I'll be honest. He got mad at me one time because he came out. There was a special on the UFC, and he came out with the company line of the whole thing of that they the old UFC ran from regulation that we decided we were going to run towards regulation. And he said that line. And I honestly forgot that I did have his number and I could have, called him, but I put it out on Twitter at the time and said, what the hell are you doing? Coming up with that bullshit. Right. And he got all butthurt. So he followed me.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Serious stuff, mister.
One thing that
I want you to know my life has never been the same since I was unfollowed.
No, I just I think many of people have had a very similar situation, with him, is that it's a double standard. It's a very sensitive situation. Like, if you don't like what he has to say, well, then come on my show and we'll talk about it. Like, basically just wants to have you on the show and have you on the show to talk about the drama that was created. Sometimes by him. And, but if you say something, then it'll be unfollowed. I didn't even know I was unfollowed. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I am. Maybe I was never followed. But this is that. I guess that's where we're separate. That's where we're different. Is that I don't look at that shit. I don't know who's following me. I don't know who's unfollowed me. I actually couldn't even tell you how to see who unfollowed you and followed you. And I'm on social media a lot. I just can't. I just never looked into seeing who follows you and who doesn't. I feel like he's picking a fight with the wrong person. This is
could be
with Ring Magazine now involved and DAZN involved. I think he's got a contract with DAZN. I'm not sure. It's from what I am hearing on my side from a friend of mine that works for DAZN. I'm not sure if there's going to be a relationship with them anymore. I don't know what that is. It's not working out.
You got to figure he has a contractual obligation or a relationship with MVP Promotions, which is Jake Paul's, and he does their shows, which is sometimes DAZN. But DAZN's going to go towards the bigger money, and I kind of have an idea who's got the bigger money.
Well, Turkey Al-Sheikh now owns, I think, 10 or 15% of DAZN. He bought it. So whatever that is, yeah. I just don't understand it. I don't, when there's a fallout, it's, when it's a fallout, he's trying to advance his career. He's doing a good job. I think he did this whole Yahoo thing. I don't know if it's working out or not. I don't pay attention to it, but, it's just not, like I said, when you're in media, especially in this small of a media force, your whole thing can be interrupted or disrupted by the fact that the people who are the promoters could tell those fighters not to go on your show. And they can say whatever they want. Like I said this for years. He is extremely lucky in a small world where there's just one promotion right now. I know the PFL is right there, but no one's clamoring to have the PFL fighters on, even though they're all fantastic fighters. But they don't get the numbers. So all the UFC fighters get the numbers. When you have a UFC fighter on your show, the numbers come in. We've had Islam on. It did, I don't know, a couple 100,000, right? And then we've had, other UFC fighters on. They've done really good numbers. I'm just really surprised that Dana hasn't just come out and been like, yeah, I don't want you guys going on that show. That would basically crush whatever it is he's doing. If no fighters went on a show, what's the MMA Hour then? And now you've kind of, you're doing the same thing with Turkey Al-Sheikh. and him and Dana are friends and working together, business partners. Like, now you don't have boxers on your show. So then what is the MMA hour? What, have another media people on? I don't. Who would you have on then? What made you popular was your relationship with UFC, with ESPN. With you left ESPN. You were like the, you know, and then you had a show with DC. You had things that were in play. You wanted more, which I don't knock you for wanting more and moving on. But then, like I said, Dana and Turkey can close it down. If you're known for your MMA hour, and that could be gone in a drop of a hat. Like, who would you have on if these guys just said, no more WWE stars going on your show, no more MMA guys going on your show, no more boxing guys going on your show? Where's your MMA hour? Because you just had WWE.
Turns into MMA minute.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, yeah, but you just had WWE guys on. You just had boxers on, and you have MMA guys on. If they decided, if TKO just called Dana and Turkey and the people who own TKO was like, yeah, we're done with the aerial show. We prefer you guys, we're fighters. We prefer you guys not do their show. You could do it, but everyone knows once Dana says, like, hey guys, like, this is kind of the influence, this and that, fighters won't go on your show. Managers will hear about it first. The managers will get the call. Hey, we're trying to avoid aerial right now. There's a lot of drama going on, a lot of playing against me, you know, us against each other. We want to avoid that. Managers are going to hear first. So when they get the call to book your fighter, then they won't be done. I mean, it's like, no, yeah, he's busy, or no, he's in camp, or he's traveling with family. Yeah, we'll get back to you. He's got it. Like, it's a shitty situation to be in, but you are beholden to the upper powers. The upper powers are the promoters that are worth, you know, $750 million sitting at the tops. And obviously Turkey she's probably worth way more than that. And so when you're there at the top, you've got to figure out where your landing spot is. And I don't think he's figured that out. You know, like, we do this, John, we love it. Am I wrong? I mean, we do it because we love it, because we're not getting rich off of it. I can tell you that for sure.
No, I don't think we're making the same thing. But, you know, I don't know. I just look at it and go, I think Ariel's a good reporter. I think he's a good interviewer for the most part. He does at times, you know, do things that I go, you shouldn't have done that. But that's just my opinion. And as long as he's happy with, you know, what he's doing, then he's going to do it. But I look and I think exactly what you're saying. You know, it could all come to an end very quickly for him.
Yeah.
You know, you know, I had a podcast once, you know, it was called Let's Get It On, where I had Sean Wheelock and stuff, you know, and that came to an end, you know, for me, you know, because Dana, you know, said, hey, because I said something about Conor McGregor in a conversation with Lorenzo Fertitta, and Dana calls me on the phone and says, what the fuck are you doing? You know, what? Right. And he tells me, and I said, I didn't even think about that. You know, I didn't think that's the problem. He goes, look, you can't be doing this. I said, okay, what do you want me to do? He goes, I want you to stop the podcast, stop being on that podcast. Okay. You know, and that's how it could happen.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it can happen. And it
could happen.
I think that's where we're at right now. It could happen. Yeah. And look, don't get me wrong. I had plenty of conversations with Scott Coker while we were working for Bellator. You know, there was nothing like, hey, stop the podcast. He never wanted that. He was like, hey, like, you know, can we try to keep it a little more positive when you're talking about our fighters? And I'm like, yeah, I agree. And John, we had conversations in our inner group with Podcast Dave, even sometimes with George and two of us, about how there are times where we get on fighters too much. And we've had, you and I have said, hey, like, we need to keep it a little bit more positive, because we want to live in a more of a positive society. And and sometimes, you know, we get a little frustrated because we know the fighters and we're like, dude, you could have fought better. We know you could have fought better. And we've had a conversation with them how their camp was and how their family is. Like, we know that they are better than that. And so that's why we feel the need to say, hey, and I've had fighters call me going, fuck, man, like, how come you had to say that? And I'm like, well, dude, you were just telling me how great it was and how your camp was and everything like this. And then, you know, and you fought like that. Why didn't you pull the trigger? Like, in those moments, those. So yeah, I get it. I understand that Coker was trying to shut us down sometimes. Not shut us down, but trying to tell us, like, hey, speak more positive about our fighters. So I understand that influence. I think with Ariel, he just wants to – he's got to the point where he's had a lot of success. The ESPN deal for him was great, was big. But then he went back to MMA fighting, and he felt disrespected by ESPN with their offer, and it wasn't good. And then he went back to MMA fighting, did well, and then capitalized on this new deal. But if you don't have the connections with boxing, and you don't have the connections with MMA, and you will not have the connection with WWE,
yep,
that new deal, I don't know how long it's going to go. So, anyways, hey,
that's right.
I don't know, but I am going to
figure
find out if he's following me or not.
That's easy.
I don't know how to do it. I'll have to look and see. All right,
look
guys,
at your Twitter right now or your X.
Uh-huh.
Type in Ariel Helwani in the search.
Let me see. Ariel, are you following me? Let's find out.
And it'll say follows you, or it doesn't, or it'll say for you to follow.
It says following. I'm following him.
You're following him.
Oh, how do I know if he's following me?
It'll say.
Does it?
Follows you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Well, I'm following him. I like him still. I mean, he is what it is. I guess he got a little mad.
It's all good.
He got a little mad at me because like, oh, Josh posting pictures of him on the beach, like not acting like he cares. And I'm like, I literally don't care. Like, this is Ariel. Like, we don't see each other. We don't know each other. I don't know your wife. I don't know your kids. Like, you don't know my family. Like I don't care. Like,
no, he follows me. Boom.
Good job. You're back. You're back in the good graces.
I follow him too.
Hey guys, this is going to wrap up our show. Hope you guys enjoyed the UFC 318 breakdown, as well as the PFL, man, who had a fantastic finish. If you guys didn't see that finish, check it out on ESPN. It is Costello Vancinas versus Johnny Eblen. I hate to do that to my boy Johnny Eblen, but man, it was a great fight, great finish. I know you guys know the results, but still, go check out the fight. See what we're talking about.
Incredible finish.
And hopefully you enjoyed this show and the news content and everything else that we did for you guys. It's a late night. It's 2:30 in the morning where I'm at. Where are you at, John, by the way?
2:30 in the morning.
2:30 in the morning. Right, and I know it's 2:30 in the morning for George because he lives in Illinois now. He's back home living in Illinois, back near family. Good for you.
Look at that. Yeah. We're all right now on the same time thing.
Yep.
So
it's kind of nice.
Matching up.
And that's going to do it for us. Hope you guys enjoyed this show. If you guys haven't checked out my live stream during the fights, you guys can check it out. It's already posted up. It's all there and available for you. And John, take us away, bud.
Hey, for everyone out there, hope you enjoyed the fights like we did. I hope you had fun with your weekend.
Hope you enjoy the fights like we. John with the choke. All right, guys. Hey, I'm going to wrap this show up for you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this show. I want to thank you guys so much. John's trying to film from a hotel room, and it's a mess and a disaster. His Wi-Fi's trash, I should say. All right, hey, guys. Hope you guys enjoy the show, and we will see you.
And now bringing you that hard, hitting fight analysis. Submitting you into paralysis. Josh Thompson head kicking leg to dome. And Big John McCarthy saying, let's get it on.